Ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Fiona Vivian and my NPM is 1951077. Today, me along with my teammates are going to talk about death sentence for drug dealer in the aspect of human rights. And there are some topics that we are going to further elaborate it in this video. In this video, we will start by self-introducing from us, followed by the opening and the background of this case, and about how is the law enforcement of death sentence in Indonesia ourselves. And the next one is followed by drug dealer and kind of illegal drug trafficking. Next is the application of death sentence for drug dealer, and the sixth one is the definition of human rights, and the seventh one is human rights in Indonesia, and followed by international human rights, and the next one is death sentence for drug dealer in the aspect of human rights. And also for the last is about the closing and the conclusion of this case. Okay, so let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, death sentence is one of the most severe punishment that is given to a defendant by getting rid of their life. Death sentence is given by judge after a thorough consideration based on the facts given in the court and sufficient evidences. A judge can then decide on the punishment given. Death sentence is given to a defendant that commits severe crime. One of the severe crime is illegally distribute drug that will harm the nation aspiration and the future generation. Dealing with drug has been a transnational organized crime. Drug crime has been assumed as a deadly crime because the target is the young generation of the nation. Unconsciously, drug crime is a crime that is deadly to human upon consuming it overdosely and the influence of addicted to it. According to Badan Narkotika Nasional, in Indonesia itself, the cases of drug crime increase each year. Applying death penalty for drug dealer is a form of seriousness in dealing with drug crime in this state. Not only in Indonesia, recorded mostly states in the world deal that they will fight together against the drug crime. Various of constitution in form of positive law has been established by each state as a form of real aid to combat with the crime. Even United Nations itself stated that drug crime is a severe crime that needs to be handled seriously, and Indonesia is one of the states that put extra effort on handling drug cases, including death sentence for drug dealer Freddy Budiman. The death sentence that is sentenced for him and other case of drug crime is a form of seriousness towards this crime to create a deterrent effect to other culprit that is still hanging around out there. The death sentence was done for the sake of public consideration and a more effective implementation of law. The penalty given to a drug dealer was regulated in Law Number 35, year 2009, Article 1135, Paragraph 2, and Article 114. Death sentence, if were to view from the positive law, it's contradict with Human Rights Regulation Number 39 of year 1999. But according to criminal law in an Indonesia regulation, Article 10 of criminal law specify that there are types of criminal. One of them are Article 1 letter A, Paragraph 1 is capital punishment. This case shows that the application of death sentence in Indonesia is still uncertain because human rights regulate that every human has the right to live. Then are death sentence appropriate to be applied for drug dealer, while on the other hand, Indonesia acknowledges the right to live as an absolute right that is defended and guarded for the continuation of human. Death sentence is one of the punishment that is regulated in Indonesia's law and is one of the most severe punishment that is sentenced to the criminal. But if we were to elaborate further about death sentence contradict with human rights, which is the right to life, based on the background problem stated above, we could see that the problem that we are going to talk about is the first one, how is the law enforcement of death sentence in Indonesia, and the second one is how do we see death sentence in the perspective of human rights. And this matter will be further elaborated by my teammates and I myself in the next. Okay, so let's start.
Hello, I will explain about how is the law enforcement of death sentence in Indonesia. One of the positive laws in Indonesia is death sentence. The sentence is one of the most severe punishment that is given to a defendant by getting rid of their life. Death sentence is given by judge after a thoroughly consideration based on the facts given in court and sufficient evidence. A judge can decide and on the punishment given. That sentence is given to a defendant that commit severe crime of the severe crime is illegal distribute drug that will harm the nation aspiration and future generation. Dealing with drug has been a transnational organized crime. Drug crime has been assumed as the deadly crime because the target is the young generation. The case of drug crime increases each year. Applying the penalty for drug dealer is a form of serious in dealing with drug crime in this state. Not only in Indonesia, regarded mostly states in the world that they will fight together against drug. Various of constitution in form of positive law has been established by each state as a form of real act to combat with the crime. Even United Nations state that drug crime is a severe crime that need to be handled seriously. Indonesia is one of the states that put extra effort on.
Drug dealer means someone who sells drug. Drug dealer could also define it as a person who manages an act of criminal by quietly trading drug. A person that pays over the drug trading process. A person that managed the drug trading process. The criminal case is said to be the most severe criminal case that will destroy the generation of nation youth future. However, some research show that there aren't any positive correlation between the death sentence with the number of drug criminals that will decrease. Instead, in Indonesia, show that the number of dealers and users increased each year. In this case, the effort of preventing drug in the developed country has been starting by increasing by educate them science in early stage and by doing say no to drug campaign and also counseling of how dangerous or drug can be. The arts on coping with drug in daily life have forced to cooperation among international to overcome with drug, because drug crime isn't only kill life but also kills human. Even with community, the drug crime didn't only destroy hundreds of thousands of lives but also destroy the life and future of the nation next generation. If we dream of safe state and nation, we shouldn't have tolerated the drug criminal, corruption and terrorism. Article 11 of criminal law, death sentence is done by executioner by hanging oneself next on rope. That was tied on a pole, then drop the board from the executioner's stand. Death sentence philosophy for Indonesian nation won't be separate from the outlook of Indonesian nation
as how it is written in the Decree of People's Consultative as consultative.
Okay guys, my name is Ali Pradani. I will discuss the point about the application of the death penalty for drug dealers. The death penalty in Indonesia is regulated in Article 10 of the Criminal Code. There are several laws that contain the threat of capital punishment EACT. Okay, number 22 of 1997, which was changed to Act number 35 of 2009 concerning narcotics, Act number 5 of 1997 concerning human rights and law, number 31 of 1999 concerning eradicating criminal acts of corruption in the application of the death penalty. Humans act as if they are taking on God's role by determining someone's life. Every human being actually has the right to life. So the death penalty has many sides of the opposition. The application of the death penalty is also regulated in the Criminal Code and other laws. It's a positive law which means the current law in Indonesia. Consideration punishment should not be compared with the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia because up to now Indonesia is still following the death sentence. According to the Constitutional Court, capital punishment does not conflict. Constitution, therefore, the level of government consistency in handling every decision hard, and the policy made by the judge in deciding its case, especially drug crimes. So, a decision was made absolutely acceptable and well done without any factor that what we can allow enforcement in Indonesia. And also pay attention to the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia and humans. Well, almost all over the world, the death penalty committed for suppressed crimes, insulting or religious leaders, war crime, and rebellion. Capital punishment is one of the purpose of criminal law to prevent and produce deterrence. Okay, thank you.
Next, we're going to talk about definition of human rights. What are human rights? Human rights are rights that inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. Human rights include the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education, and many more. Everyone is entitled to these rights without discrimination. They can never be taken away, although they can sometimes be restricted. For example, if a person breaks the law or in the interest of national security, these basic rights are based on shared values like dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by law. Each human has the right to live. In our life, each other rights that have to be upheld by other person. According to regulation, human rights are rights that inherent to all human beings as a creature from the one Almighty God and is gifted that are obligated to be respected, be upheld, and be protected by the state, government, and every person for the sake of value and dignity of human. John Locke explained that human rights are rights that are gifted directly from the one Almighty God to human as a natural rights. That's the reason why there are no other strength in this world that can whip it out. Human rights characteristic is fundamental and basic for human and it's holy. According to Muladi, human rights is also basic things that has attached in every human in their life. The importance of discussing about human rights, even human rights has become international attention by making universal declaration of human rights since passed in English and other Europe states. Human rights are rights that have been inherited to each human being that is inviolable, that is gifted. If somebody, government or other people disturb others' human rights, then the person could be sued or charged based on the regulation.
Hello guys, I will explain about human rights in Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the states that uphold human rights and have already ratified human rights in our regulation. In the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia has already regulated about human rights, and by releasing Act number 39 year 1999 and the other acts, so human rights have already become an interesting issue to be discussed further. The existence of humans are complete personal and in public. Their characteristics and identity won't be deciphered as a human. They have rights against themselves. Human rights are an absolute right that have to be upheld its existence by others. The forming and the recognition of human rights in Indonesia is since Indonesia declared in its independence and was lodged in few regulations, which is 1. Preamble of the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia, years 1945, first paragraph. Number 2. Preamble of the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia, years 1945, fourth paragraph. 3. Section of the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia, years 1945. Number 4. The Decree of People Consultative Assembly number MPR or 70 or 117 109,098 about human rights. Regulation number 5, regulation number 39, years 1999 about human rights.
Okay, how about international human rights? Okay, in the international world, they recognize the existence of human rights as a basic rights that have to be respected by each nation in the world. The history and background of the part of human rights are because the awareness movement towards right, value, and dignity. The recognition of human rights widely by the nation in the world is by the appearance of the United Nations Card, which is Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Whose founders are United States of America, France, United Soviet, United Kingdom on the 10th December 1948. State that human rights is applied, which means the member of United Nations is obligated to put human rights in the regulation. The recognition towards human rights have already shown in the holy books from various religions and other documents. The arise of the awareness to uphold and upgrade human rights is because of injustice, colonialism, slavery, and tyranny of their rule. The arise of the awareness to uphold and upgrade human rights is because of injustice, colonial slavery, and tyranny of their rule. In completing this problem, a lot of states made a statement about human rights in an international declaration, including the first Magna Carta, Declaration of Rights, Habeas Corpus, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, the Four Freedoms, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Thank you.
Okay guys, the next point, the death penalty for drug dealers in human rights aspect regulation on human rights since 1945 are written in the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. Article 28A states that every human being has right. Okay, the right to life and defend the life except the Article 9 of law. 1. Everyone has the right to life, defend their life, and improve their life. 2. Everyone has the right to life peacefully, safe, and happily pursued. In our analysis of the death penalty for Freddy Budiman has human rights which are the right to life, but Freddy right to life. Budiman is limited by the right of the other to life. Moreover, his right to life is used to threaten others. Living illegally, dealing with drugs that will kill many lives, give a death sentence to drug dealers in accordance with threat in Article 140. Part 2 of Law Number 35 year 2009 is true and does not conflict with human rights because the death penalty.
Okay, here's come to the closing and conclusion. Based on description and analysis stated above, we can conclude as follows. The first one is the law enforcement towards drug dealer must be done for the sake of mankind by killing one people that can save a lot of people from the misuse of drug. So that killing a drug dealer, it means we could protect the public from the misuse of drug caused from the circulation that keep on increasing. And the second conclusion is that death sentence for drug dealer didn't contradict with human rights. Why? Because it didn't contradict with International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights or ICCPR, so that the death sentence is applicable in Indonesia, and also death sentence is regulated in Criminal Code and Act number 35 year 2009 about drug. So yeah, I think that's all for today's videos about human rights and about drug dealer that was executed for capital punishment. So I hope this video will help a lot, and thank you.